Hello, Osmo Pocket 3. Are you still actually worth buying in 2025? Given that there's so much new tech coming, are you even worth it? Let's find out. Another fine Irish spring day. I mean, look at this. Look at this for misery. Weather aside, this is the Osmo Pocket 3, and before we get into whether you should even think about looking at this camera for 2025 and whether it's worth buying, the settings what I'm using right now is everything is on auto. There is no D-log, it's auto shutter, it's auto white balance, it's auto everything. There is no mic, there is nothing. This is what you get directly out of the Osmo Pocket 3. Not sure this is probably the best idea for I don't think we're going to swing off of this anytime soon. As you might know, I've shot a ton of videos around the Osmo Pocket 3, and I'm just going to move there because the wind is all over the place. But I've used it for settings videos, I've used it for a ton of B-roll, close-up shots of product reviews, even macro shots, time-lapses, photography. The thing has been used to death. But for those of you who are still on the fence when it comes to the Osmo Pocket 3, why haven't you bought it already? There is an absolute metric ton of content out there around the Osmo Pocket 3. It's video quality settings, big creators, small creators, everybody has put content out around this. Why haven't you bought it already? If it's that good, why haven't you bought it already? Or are you waiting for the Osmo Pocket 4 Pro? I'm sure there'll be another Osmo Pocket, but are you waiting for that? Why are you waiting for that? That's a question. Why are you waiting for the next Osmo Pocket? Or is there something else that you're actually waiting for? One of these new cameras that might come out in 2025. Obviously there will be a wind again. Obviously there will be a new GoPro. Kind of September, October is the usual time for GoPro. March is a huge month for tech releases. Techtober, Techvember. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff coming. Are you waiting for one of those? Now, my question to you is, if you are waiting for one of those, and we all suffer from the gear acquisition syndrome, what are you waiting for? Is there some big spec that you're waiting for? Like maybe you want a camera that's going to be 8K 240. Maybe it's a 12K camera that you want. And that's fine if you have a specific need for a 12K or an 8K camera, then that's cool, right? But do you really? Let's me and you be really honest. Do you really have a need for that type of camera? What type of content are you doing? Oh look, a carefully placed bag for rubbish. Isn't that thoughtful by some nice individual? Oh, no rubbish in it. Oh well, sure somebody put rubbish into it. People are obsessed with specs. People are obsessed with new gear. I'm gonna have to get into the car because it's getting rainy and wet. But people are obsessed with new gear, and that's the wrong thing. They have this prerequisite for some mad gear and they'll never use any of those features. Let me remind you, one of the best loved cinema cameras of all time from Arri has only recently started shooting in 4K. While it's never necessarily how good things look, it's always about the content or the story that you're telling. So please just kind of keep that in mind. This is a really off the beaten track place. So when you see somebody on their own in a car, they're probably making YouTube videos, right? One of the downsides of the Osmo Pocket 3 is how it actually looks, which is also going to lead to another downside of the whole thing, but I'll get to that in a bit. It looks like a toy. If you whip this out on a professional shoot, it looks like a toy, and then people see the quality of the footage and they're like, there's no way the video came out of this thing. Not a hope. A buddy of mine shoots professionally and he uses the Osmo Pocket 3 all of the time to shoot video content for his clients, and it looks phenomenal. The only reason I know it's an Osmo Pocket 3 is because I know any of his videos will use that. So yeah, what are you going to do? That's not really a big deal when the quality looks so damn good. It might be for you, but hang on a sec. Any excuse for a time lapse. What I was going to say is that there are so many big creators out there are using the Osmo Pocket 3, as I slip, And the thing is, you don't even know it is it. You might look at it in reflection and see, ah, there's the Osmo Pocket 3. Or you might see a shadow and go, ah, there's the Osmo Pocket 3. So many people are using it. Big, huge creators, it doesn't matter. They have millions of views, millions of subscribers. It could be walking channels, it could be entertainment channels, anything. And all of these folks are using it. My question is, if it's good enough for them, why wouldn't it be good enough for you? Any excuse for some slow motion. That's one of the things I find with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is switching between modes is now as easy as doing it on your actual phone. Usability is so easy. It's as easy as wet chair. Yeah, it's as easy as sitting down. And when something is really easy to use, then it makes you kind of use it a lot more. There's not like a mirrorless camera where you have to punch a lot of buttons or dials or settings to get into slow motion or time lapse or whatever. It's just all ready to go, and my ass is wet. Back in the car again. This Irish weather, it's fun. Come to Ireland, they said. Well, I'm telling you, come, but maybe not when it's raining, which is more or less always, never, something. Speaking of ECUs, there is a ton of accessories out there for the Osmo Pocket 3 in D filters, UV filters, anamorphic lens adapters. The anamorphic lens really are just poor. It's because the Osmo Pocket 3 can only carry so much weight on its little gimbal. Outside of that though, there is tripods, battery grips, all different types of cases and accessories. I've even put it onto this Ulanzi TT38, which is probably one of the most useful little tripods that I've used, and it uses the Falcon little that just slip. Anyway, yeah, there's wealth of accessories out there. Do you need them? Look, the E&D filters are kind of fiddly if you want to go manual, but if you want that cinematic motion blur that you're not getting now because this is an auto, then that is a complete option for you as well. The one real caveat of the Osmo Pocket 3, however, is its durability. Without a doubt, I have dropped this 1 or 2 times, maybe 3. There's a little scratch on the side. Other than that, though, this thing has been faultless. But the durability is a thing. If you're rough with your gear, this will not last. The screen is likely the first thing to go, followed then by the actual gimbal and the lens itself. And my friends, that should be the case with any camera, though. Every piece of electronics is really fragile if dropped. This is not a GoPro. If you want an action camera, do not get the Osmo Pocket 3 in any shape or form. I was hoping it wouldn't fall over. Even though it's on a tripod, the bump on the boot, if it just fell, the first thing that's actually going to hit the ground is the lens. And it's not necessarily the lens, it's the actual gimbal. And having the original Osmo Pocket 1, I do know from multiple drops, it is extremely fragile. Did you like that shot? Yeah, of course you did, because it's on the Osmo Pocket 3. Okay, on a serious note, I have tried very hard to find fault with the Osmo Pocket 3. I find very difficult to say don't buy this in 2025. If you're starting out, this is a no-brainer. Even if you're mid-level, as I said, this thing is an absolute no-brainer. The image quality, the functionality, the video quality, the stabilization, and it's not electronic stabilization, it's an actual gimbal, so it's an analog gimbal. It's not relying on an algorithm to keep the footage steady, and that means it works perfectly well in low light. The question is the Osmo Pocket 3 worth considering? Should you buy it in 2025? The question that I would have for you is the Osmo Pocket 3 worth not buying in 2025? Because to me, this thing is still a savage, it's still a beast. I've got some big projects coming up, and this thing is going to be front and center. Because it's small, don't leave it behind, obviously. Check out this Osmo Pocket 3 video here. I think you'll absolutely love it, and I'll see you on the next one.